It is a beautiful Sunday morning. What's going on YouTube? Florida's Finest here, aka Kyle, aka person who has a Miata that doesn't run and it's been like 14 months. But that changes today. So, back working on the car today. I've been working on it. I haven't been filming it, but I have been working on my car. And yesterday is the first day I got it to start. So technically it runs right now. And since I'm having one small issue where it's still stuck in gear and I can't get in neutral, and basically it's spinning my back tires. So technically the Turbo 2 swap is complete because I got the car to start, the drive shaft to spin, and the rear axles, or I guess yeah, drive shafts or rear drive axles to spin. So there you have it, Turbo 2 swap, we're done. Just kidding, there's actually a lot of work to do. I have a bunch to do real quick. I'm gonna try to finish some wiring and then I will start it for you guys because it's like 7 a.m. a little early. I don't want to wake the neighbors. But yeah, so let me give you guys a quick update on the car. Let me show you what I got going on. So right now I am working on interior. There is a lot of wiring to do. It's a mess back here. I'm in the process of cleaning it up. I'm almost done. I'm just still testing a few gauges, and then once I have everything working, I'm going to tuck it up and be done with it. So I'm going to do that first before I start the car, but let's see. Things left to do. I need to finish the headlight wiring. This is my headlight connector. So I now route it around inside the fender, and then once I install my headlights, I can finish that up and put the fender back on. The car engine bay is actually done. I have to finish bleeding the clutch. That's also maybe why it's stuck in gear. But besides that, it's basically done. Ignore this huge hard line for my clutch. If you guys have a Miata, you know the stock line goes across the side, back down that way, and then like over into the master cylinder. The clutch master, not master, that's master cylinder. The clutch master down there. And I had to rebuild my whole line. So this is the second part that I actually took off the car. It was a huge hassle. It went from hard line to soft line to hard line, and I think that's why it was leaking and not working on me. So I just went straight hard line, and the new master and the RX-7 trans is right there, which is a huge bitch to bleed. You can't even see it. So yeah. So I just have one hard line for now. Once I get it situated, I'm going to rebuild a new one and tuck it, make it nice and clean. So ignore that. And then yeah, I got to finish bleeding the brakes, and then we can go for a test drive. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to drive it in this video, but I definitely wanted to film an update video to show you guys the progress I've made and that the car runs. Wow, it's really dark. And then let's go underneath the car. Let me see if I can show you some stuff underneath the car. Alright, so this is underneath my Miata. As you can see, I have my exhaust done. It's really out of focus. But I ended up doing a V-band connection, which is much easier than a traditional exhaust flange. I have my drive shaft in, had the exhaust hung by itself. I got my diff mount back here. I don't think I ever showed you guys it, maybe, I don't remember. But that is how I mounted my diff. It's basically a Heim joint bolted through the Miata subframe. Can't remember what it's called. Top of my head, that's way too early. That goes from the transmission to the diff. This is the main way it mounts it. I cut it right here and bolted through it with a Heim joint. Welded both sides together so it can't spin out, and then welded it to the frame of the car. So that's how I did it. Those are tabs up here with a bolt going through it, and then two Heim joints. I think it should hold. We'll see if it breaks or breaks, and then we'll cross that when we get there. This is just a temporary fix because I am planning on doing a Ford 8.8 diff with the Monster Miata kit and axles, because now my axles are the weakest link of this car. So we'll see how much power they hold up to. And I'm still missing two drive shaft bolts. I forgot to put those in. So I'm glad I'm down here because I totally would have forgot about those. Alright, let's finish this wiring and then we'll start the car. Alrighty, there she is, all back together. I got most of the interior back together. The hydro's not in all the way, as you can tell. I just kind of put it there just for visual purposes. But everything's all wired up, and got all my tools out of the car. It only took that many tools. Alright, I know you guys want to see this thing start. Let's start it up right now. Alright, let's see if she wants to start today. Alright, after like 15 months of sitting, let's see how she goes. Yeah, power, fans are on. Woo! Here we go. You got oil pressure. My car runs! My Miata! Oh, baby. Give it a little pulling. And I kind of fixed my neutral problem. I got it at neutral, so now my rear end's not spinning. I don't know if you can hear me. It's kind of loud. There we go. See the AFRs? Not bad. Battery looking good. Oil pressure looking good. Oh man, I am fucking stoked. Miata's back. Man, does it feel good to sit back in this car. I know I'm technically not sitting in it because there's no seats in the car, but you guys know what I mean. I'm stoked to have my car back. It feels so good to hear it run and see it turn on after sitting for like 15 months. Every time you take a car apart, you're always not sure if it's gonna go back together. But I'm stoked. Definitely next video we'll get some driving clips. I can't wait to drive this thing. I got a baby on it, or not beat on it and baby it for a while because I have a brand new clutch. And I know my last clutch barely lasted me at all, so hopefully I can try to keep this clutch to last a little bit longer. I will definitely start making more videos, start filming now that my car's back. That was kind of the biggest thing, is just waiting on that. I also just recently got engaged, so there's that going on. So it's definitely a lot of things moving around in my life, but I'm excited to have the car back. And I want to quickly go over the Turbo 2 swap because I haven't really talked about it too much. If anyone wants me to go into more detail, I definitely can. I can definitely break it down into smaller parts because I know a lot of people ask about the swap. But basically what I did was I bought a used Maverick Motorsports adapter bell housing plate, and I've showed this before in my older videos. It's just a simple plate that has countersunk holes on either side to made up to the Miata motor and in the Turbo 2 transmission. I bought a used RX-7 S4, I think, or S5. I think it's an S4 Turbo 2 transmission. There's an S4 and S5. There's basically different generations. I'm not sure which one's better than the other. I paid $350 for that. I paid $350 for the Maverick Motorsports adapter plate. So that's like what, $700? I ended up getting a new clutch because you can't use the NA or NB Miata clutch. You have to use an NC Miata clutch disc because the splines on the RX-7 output shaft, the transmission, matched the NC count of splines. So I basically called up ACT clutches, and I was like, hey, give me the most powerful, strongest clutch you guys have for an NC Miata. Like, whatever you guys have, the strongest one. I don't care how much it costs, I want it. And I can't remember exactly which model it was. I can definitely tell you guys. I think I have it in one of my other videos. I have the model number. So yeah, so I had the adapter plate, the transmission. I got a new clutch disc for an NC Miata, and then I ordered, and I think you have to get the pressure plate. The pressure plate was for an NA Miata, so only the clutch disc is for the NC. Like I said, I had the codes in another video. So then I got the clutch disc, the pressure plate, and then I resurfaced my Flying Miata Stage 2 lightweight flywheel. And then, so that covers that. I got a custom drive shaft made from a shop local in Orlando called Advanced Driveline, I think it is. I think they are. And it was like $300 for 3-inch thick steel drive shaft. They do aluminum too, but I wanted steel, so I wanted to be kind of beefy. So I got that in the car. I think that was $300, and that's it. That's all I really did. I used the same clutch master off the Miata transmission, which I'm not sure if that's going to work because I feel like I'm having trouble bleeding my clutch. You do have to relocate basically the clutch master is now on the driver's side. Sorry, a loud truck just drove by. So you have to relocate that, and then on the bell housing of the transmission, you have to notch the top passenger side with a little V to clear the starter, because the Miata starter is, you know, still in the same spot, but the RX-7 starter is on the opposite side of the transmission. It's on the driver's side, so you have to keep it. You keep it in the same spot, but you have to notch the bell housing. I've also covered that in another video. And then I have my same Miata diff. It's an LSD in the back, but I swapped in the RX-7 diff housing, because I don't know if you guys remember or not, but I actually broke my diff. Clean cut, broke the diff housing at the last Miata, the last drift track day. So the housings they're interchangeable. You can swap it right over. So I took the guts in the LSD diff and put it inside the RX-7 housing, and then it's a lot beefier and stronger. Miatas come with like a fail-safe in the diff for it to purposely brake under load if you get in a car accident, and the RX-7s do not. So I did that. So still stock rear end axles. I plan on eventually upgrading that. That's now the weakest part of the car. And that's really it. I think that's all I did as far as the Turbo 2 swap. I had to rebuild my whole exhaust from the turbo back, brand new exhaust all the way. That was a pain. It's really, really tight. I'm sure my exhaust is going to rub once I have it going past the transmission when I actually drive the car, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And then that's about it. I actually painted the engine bay, so that's what took so long to get my car back together, because I pulled every single thing out of the car and then I put it all back in, which was an absolute nightmare. But yeah, like I said, I'm happy that the car is finally back up and running, and I can't wait to be driving it. I'm so excited. I'm going to stop talking, end this video. I just want to give you guys a quick update. If you guys have any questions or want me to go into any detail, please let me know. I can really break it down more. It's a really simple swap. It wasn't hard. The hardest part was making my own transmission mount. I had to weld up a transmission mount for it, and I had to remake the exhaust. And that's about it. So if you can do some welding, or if you can find someone that can weld, it's really not that hard. I would recommend doing the swap. Like I said, I haven't even driven the car, so I can't really give you too much of a recommendation on it yet. But I would recommend the swap if you're going for pure race car, high horsepower, and you're okay with having your car sit for 6 months, because it's definitely not something you do in a weekend. I think it's a little bit more, to it besides that. But actually, you guys know my car is like kind of pure race car. I don't really drive it. It's kind of strictly for the track and beating on it. So that's why I did the swap, and I want to go more power. Like, my end goal would be like 500 horsepower maybe. We'll see. I need a bigger turbo, E85, bigger injectors, but maybe we'll go that high. I don't know. We'll see. It depends how the car goes. We'll see how it handles. But honestly, I just want to drive it. So that's about it. Enough talking. I will see you guys in the next video. I'm going to probably put my seats back in the car and button the car up. I gotta put some body panels on and bleed the brakes, and then maybe I can go drive it. So maybe next week I'll have a video of me driving my car. Later guys, have a good one.